folks? How y'all doing out there? This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D, and I want to apologize for being away for a little minute. You guys knew I was coming back. Had to take a little vacation, a little getaway. I'm well rested, had a great time, had fun. Oh man, didn't want to come back. But anyway, had to get back to you guys because it's always nice and rewarding to reach out and touch in the form of video to discuss, to kind of, put the voice with the face and the mood and the moment because, body language and expression and all that stuff is so important when bringing forth a message. So this is one reason why I chose to do not only podcasting, but video form of my talk segments to give you all an up close and personal experience. So first, let's just say, hey, how y'all doing? Today has been awesomely hot. I probably got a little sweat going on still, and I've been trying to stay hydrated. Make sure you do that with your water when it's hot or even when it's not hot because our bodies need the hydration. It goes a long way, and I've had to train myself to drink more water because there was a time I didn't, but I do now. So let's jump right on into some juicy grown folk topic of discussion. I was sitting here before I pushed record trying to brainstorm on something. One thing about it is I bring forth what's on the mind in the moment. None of this is rehearsed. None of this is, let me sit down and read my lines and, this is what I'm going to talk about. No, I just kind of randomly bring it out there. So on that note, what I feel led to talk about now is, I was having an interesting conversation with someone regarding relationship status. This person asked me, do you have a man? I asked them, do they have a woman? They told me, well, it's complicated. So I'm like, okay, well, if it's complicated, I don't know if I want to be all up in that complication, even with a communication, conversation, all that, because then that can become complicated, And what I want to talk about is, you got to respect folks who come at you in a way of disclosing up front that they are in a complicated situation. However, they don't always tell you what the situation is. Excuse me, they'll just spring it on you, It's complicated, but I got it under control. It's all right. It's cool. It's good. So how you doing? You got your little red flags going all in your head like, wait a minute, hold up. So what I want to ask is, when someone brings forth, I'm in a complicated situation, should they or should they not tell you, without going to extreme details, but tell you, enlighten you, give you some hints or some direction as to what the complication is all about? You feel me? I mean, you could be in a complicated situation where, say for instance, you're no longer connected with a person, you've outgrown them, but you are in business together. So you still have to have that communication and deal with each other. Or you still share the same dwelling with each other. Perhaps you own property with one another and nobody's ready to say I'm gone. And so you just kind of coexist. And in this day and age, it's hard to exist on your own, you know. So people do what they do. So, that could be complicated, especially when you're getting to know someone new, because that new person is not allowed to really be a part of your situation, coming to your house, hanging out, meeting the family a little bit. I mean, if you're really feeling that person, you do want to kind of incorporate them into your world or somewhat. And when you're in complicated situations, the roadblock is placed because there's only so far you could go with that without causing a problem. So how much of that complication should they share? I mean, if I was in a complicated situation, which I am not, thank you, Lord, I am not. But if I was in a complicated situation, I think I would deal with my complication before I would want to deal with someone else. That's just me personally, because first of all, I would not want to get that person that I'm trying to get to know all involved in me emotionally, physically, or whatever, and we got this vibe and feelings, and then you got another complication because you feeling them too. And so the deeper you get into that quicksand, it's harder for you really to share a lot because you don't want to risk losing what you have in that person. But at the end of the day, if you don't share and be open and upfront with them, you don't give them an opportunity to choose which path they want to go down. Do they want to continue, mushing with you, or do they want to say, okay, holla at me when you're uncomplicated? I mean, really. So, that's just me. So, but, for you out there who are comfortable mixing and mingling with other people when you are in complicated situations, how much of that should you really share to this new person? Now, if it's somebody that you are just hitting and missing, maybe you just want to sex them once or twice and that's it. It ain't really nothing else going on. Excuse me, it's water time. But it's not really much of anything going on. You just want to hit and miss that, boom, 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 and that's it. No emotions, nothing. You don't even want to do it past a couple of times. It was just the curiosity of wanting to get busy. Maybe that's different. Perhaps you don't want to go too deep into things with that person because they're not going to be around. So what about somebody that's going to be around? Somebody that you're digging, you gigging, things is going cool, and man, you want to see what the possibilities are with this person. They're kind of, they're your flavor in a lot of ways. So how much do you tell them? Do you tell them enough to give them an opportunity to make that choice? Or do you hold back and wait until they're all emotionally wrapped up into you and then you drop the bomb? Because that could be misleading. That could be misleading in a lot of ways, and then it kind of, it shifts the trust thing. People can say that they were deceived, and you didn't give them a chance to choose and things of that nature. Because a couple came to me once that was still married to someone, and they lived in the same dwelling, and they were going through a divorce. They decided they were going to do this and divorce, and there was kids involved in this and that and other things. So they had to kind of keep things the way it was until both were ready to branch off. And they did not want to hold up the opportunity of meeting someone new, possibly getting involved, and things of that nature, because they didn't know how long this situation was going to take to smooth itself out that they were into. And they were all mixed up about it. They felt really bitter at the fact that their lives were held up, and didn't know how to deal with it, didn't know what to do, felt like they were stuck in mud. And I'd like to know how you feel about that. If you were in a situation where it was complicated, you were stuck, but you still had a life that you wanted to pursue in the midst of, would you put your wants, needs, and desires on hold until you got your complication dealt with? Or would you just come out and tell this new person that, hey, I'm feeling you, I care about you, I do want to kind of see where this is going, but hey, this is what's going on. I need you to be patient. Would you do that? So this is something that I wanted to bring forth with you, because there is a lot of people going through things like this, and it's real life. It happens. It is not that one is trying to mislead you or misdirect you. It's just that sometimes people get stuck in situations, and it's a time frame that needs to go by, and things have to be straight before they can fly off. Now, I also was speaking to a young man once who told me that they were staying in their situation because they had a child with the person, a daughter, and that they wanted to stay in that until their daughter reached a mature age, 18, 19, 20. And nowadays 18 is 18. They still at home at 30. So, it's hard to really branch out. They got to go to college. They got to get themselves established. So anyway, they wanted to stay in that tangled web until the daughter was, they say, 18, and then move forward with their lives. And I just think that could have possibly been an excuse for them. They just wasn't really ready to let go for whatever the underlying reasons other than the daughter was, because children, young children, teenagers, young adults, when they're in highly stressed situations, or situations where even if the two parents are not arguing, the tension of disconnect, kids can feel that. And then they start to mimic that. They see the distance. They don't see the affection. They don't see the family bonding. And then they grow up thinking, this is the way it's supposed to be, because this is how it was at my house. So this is how I'm going to bring forth how I deal with my situations. And it's a domino effect. So are we really doing them any good by staying together and letting them feel that disconnect? Or should we sit down, have a mature talk with them, let them know the situation? We both love you, but this is what's happening with mommy and daddy. We are no more, but we're here for you. So on that note, I'm going to end this one, because I can go on and on and on and on about it. But I'm going to end right here, because I know somebody out there that's thinking about their situation or someone else's that's dealing with this, and they're like, wow, man, what would I do? How would I do it? And I'm not just saying throw something off the top of your head. I'm saying really think about it. Put yourself in the shoes and situation, or think about a situation you've been in, and perhaps you're not in it anymore, but you may have wanted, if you had the opportunity, to do that differently. On that note, I am your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, and I am here this evening with some grown folk talk and discussion. You kids, man, you're already viewing this video on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Tell a friend. Give me some feedback, your thoughts. I love that. You can also send me an email, dgrier12000 at yahoo.com. I post questions like this all the time on Facebook, Twitter, Google. I'm out there with sharing this kind of stimulating talk with you. And I'd love to hear what you have to say. On that note, I want to say and leave you with this. Be grown or be gone. Have a wonderful evening, grown folks. Until we meet again. Bye-bye.